welcome. This is the Modern Geek Podcast, coming at you live. Please subscribe through YouTube or Twitch. Hope you enjoy the show. Hey there, Disney Infinity collectors. This is the Modern Geek, also known as Matt Mario, and we're continuing to do some more unboxings of our new Disney Infinity originals that came out today. Previously, I did an unboxing of the starter set, the toy box starter set. We're going to do some unboxing of individual figures. So I picked up a couple through various retailers, through Toys R Us, through GameStop. And I may have even accidentally gotten something for free that I wasn't supposed to. But because there was some really weird deals changed at last minute, and there weren't really a lot of sales for the launch or the release. So it's very, very interesting. Because, you can think of this as more of like a secondary wave or wave 2 of our figures. But it was kind of done in a different way this time. But we're going to do some unboxing. So I have 3 to unbox. So I have the new Maleficent. And then, wouldn't be Disney without Tinkerbell. The fairy that started it all. Well, technically not true. I would say the fairy godmother is the one that started it all. But obviously, we don't think of the Magic Kingdom. We don't think of any part of Disney without this little gal, because she was part of the Wonderful World of Disney and used to do her little thing to usher in that show every week. So, very, very awesome. Really looking forward. And then, last, and certainly not least, the man who probably should go to a few anger management courses and usually is stuck with all that bad luck, no one but Donald Duck. So, probably out of all of the Wave 2 people and the Disney Original people, beyond stoked to play as this character, to play as him. Again, I love, it's that Disney Infinity style, but it's Donald. They got it. They really hit the nail on the head. And we'll go through each one and talk a little bit more about them, but absolutely, absolutely, absolutely awesome. And looking so forward. So again, I do this with every one of these, but I will say, please watch the other video. I'm not going to go too crazy into it. The originals unboxing of the starter toy box set. But quick synopsis, Disney Infinity, for anyone that may be watching this video and doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about, Disney Infinity is a toy-to-life game in that genre. Also, like similar to Skylanders, but very different in game and in content. But the same basic concept, if you're just thinking of it mechanically, you take your character, you put it on a reader, it reads the character, and you play that character in the game. So as far as that goes, that would be, I would say, the only place where the two of them are similar. I think somebody explained it very well that I know, where they said that Skylanders is an adventure game with toys. So meaning it's an adventure game where you play as a character and it's an adventure, and they made a toy of that character. They made toys for you to have. Whereas Disney Infinity, you are playing with a virtual toy and creating your own story. So it's not an adventure game. There are missions and elements and small things that are structured gameplay, but it's more about what you make and what you create as a world to have fun and jump around. And similar to the idea of literally taking a toy box that a child would have and taking every toy out of it and playing with it. So that's, so they are meant to be toy representations of the character, not the character. So a little bit of a different idea and style. Whereas Skylanders is, you are that character, you are playing an adventure, and they are living and dying and fighting and saving the world. You can totally make a game where they save the world in Disney Infinity, but it's about you making it as well as playing it. and they're your toys. All right, cool. So now I did that quick synopsis. Again, if you want to get more in depth and a little bit more into, Disney Infinity 1 versus 2, look at some of the other videos that I have, and you can get a little bit more of a sense of what it is. But let's get to the unboxing. I'm going to start, because I have a little bit to say about her. I'm going to start with Miss Maleficent. So you'll notice, so this is our single figure, and you'll notice at the top we have that little icon that looks like a toy box, and it's 2.0. So what that's going to mean for us is that Maleficent, and she's branded as the original figure, Maleficent will only be playable in the toy box. So if you are a veteran Disney Infinity collector, you know that there are also what are called playsets. And so she is not in or part of any playset. She is an individual character that can be played in the toy box, as well as all of the toy box adventure games. So any of the toy box adventure discs you can play there, and any worlds that you download that were created by other players. So that's where she's going to be able to play, and obviously she can mash it up with Captain America or Donald Duck or anybody. And we'll notice that it is the Angelina Jolie Maleficent. So from the Maleficent film, if you haven't seen it. Pretty cool. You get a shot of the back of the box. So that nice pose. It gives us a little insight into some of the rest of the originals roster. And then it gives you a little blurb about Miss Maleficent. And it says, unleash wicked powers and raven spies. Very cool. And it gives you a little kind of blurb, kind of telling you what I just told you. Sorry that's not focusing my camera. And then you can see it's like the, hey, if you put this on this base, it's going to turn into that kind of thing. Pretty cool. I mean, obviously now I know what's cool about the ones that are based off of actors, from franchises. And I was going to say, I do not have it handy. I was going to say, last time around from Disney Infinity 1, we obviously had, we actually had two that were likenesses of actors, and that was, funny enough, the same actor, because it was Johnny Depp for Captain Jack and for Tonto. And what's interesting about these figures, and most people don't know it, is that the actors actually have to sign off on the design and the look. So Angelina Jolie was she had to approve this figure. So it's pretty crazy. Not only that, but they also had to go to the folks that were making the Maleficent movie at the time and have them actually approve it, which is really cool. And it's amazing because a lot of these figures, which we don't realize this, were actually made before the film was made. So the quick side note, the Anna and Elsa figures. So the Elsa figure, some of the in-game effects of things that they had Elsa do, they didn't even know were actually going to be in the movie. So it's kind of funny. They actually had to make some of that beforehand, get it approved by those people that were doing the film. But then at the same time, it was amazing because they hit it. It's John Vignacchi, who's the vice president of Disney Interactive, which basically Disney Interactive just makes this now. He told that story and it was pretty amazing. He's like, oh, we saw in the song that she smashed her foot on the floor and made ice, and we made her do that. And we're like, yeah, we hit it. And so it's crazy. It's really crazy. But awesome. All right, cool. Let's unbox it. And I will tell you my want for this figure. All right. I'm getting really good at unboxing this stuff. All right, so like every time, we get our little instructions. And I'm going to do a long unboxing for this, and then we'll really just focus on the figures for the other guys. The safety warning, safety. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. And then we have a card. The back of it will have a code, and this is for redeeming it digitally for the PC version. Oh, there we go. For the PC version of the game, which is actually free. So very odd and very cool. You can actually download for PC, so for Windows only. iOS is free as well. So on iOS, you can download it. But you can download the toy box. In the case of iOS, you can buy the full game for PC. So you can actually buy elements, and there's in-game transactions if you want to go completely digital and have no toys, which is pretty cool. All right, and here's our first glimpse. So, keep her in there so it comes in the plastic. And the plastic for most of them is pretty easy, so you usually just have to pop it off. I obviously get horrified every time I do that because, you know, they're hand painted. So, they're not hand painted, they're painted. Very cool. All right. So this is Maleficent. So, I mean, you can already tell, I mean, the lines on this thing are unreal. I mean, they're awesome. The pose is nice. What I love about all of the Disney Infinity figures, and I've said this a lot. It'd be good if I didn't put Maleficent like right in, hey, let's talk. And I'm like putting things in front of my face. What's really awesome about these figures, and I've said this a lot about them, you know, in contradiction to a Skylander. So, you know, obviously scale is a little bit a part of it. But, you know, when you look at a Skylander figure, you know, like, they definitely have poses, and they definitely have some personality to them, but it's about, you know, it's about the accoutrements, it's about all of this other stuff. You know, like, they just look like cool characters that are on their way to do something. You know, there's some action, but it's more like comic book cartoony action. What I've said about these is they look so much more like sculpted. You know, it's more, I say it all the time, there's an intent. There's like an intent to action. There's an intent to something. Like, to me, the character, the thing, it speaks to you. It tells a story. Like, it's in a story. And I think they nailed it. I mean, they nailed Maleficent. They nailed the pose. They nailed it. Now, I actually am a fan of the new film. So obviously this is inspired by the new film. I really hope, and we'll do unboxings of Power Discs later, which they do have costume change discs. They've announced, obviously, all of them for this wave. I'm really hoping, because some of the costume changes this time were from first generation characters from Disney Infinity 1. I'm really hoping that they do a costume change so you can get the actual Sleeping Beauty Maleficent. Because although I love Angelina Jolie, and I think she did an amazing job, and I really did believe her as Maleficent, and I do think the look is good, I would love this to be green. I would love it to be the Maleficent for Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty is one of my favorite Disney films for a lot of reasons. I mean, being an artist, I mean, it's an amazing film. It has amazing technology in it. It's the film where Disney broke a lot of boundaries and made a lot of advancements, and it's a great, gorgeous looking film. I mean, what other film can you watch that's a living tapestry from the Middle Ages of a fairy tale? I mean, it's amazing. So this is like, I'm stoked. And of course, she's a bad guy. I mean, now, of course, you can debate that if in the new film, and I won't give away any stuff, but, you know, when you kind of tell people motives behind why they do things, sometimes you can debate that. But she is a bad guy, and she looks bad. She also looks kind of sexy, but that's more the Angelina Jolie side. The original drawing, I didn't have that kind of connection to it. But I do like the figure. I think it's awesome. I love the detail of the staff. You know, just great job on the paint, great job on the lines. Much better on the paint jobs. They're much cleaner than the last guys were. So, awesome. All right, next up, Tinkerbell. So, most of the world, and again, same deal. So, they're all going to have the same thing. I'll do quick, and it's nice. You see an in-game, do a little closer for that. In-game pose. Let me see if I can. Yeah, maybe. In-game pose of Tink, and then her figure. Get a shot of the figure in the box. Tinkerbell. She's got a nice look. I mean, this, again, classic Disney. Last time around, we didn't have that many We didn't have that many classic Disney characters, so that was kind of a bummer. But now, right on the money, classic all the way. So let's get her unboxed. Oof. All right, so I will tell you already, this is going to be one of the most horrifying things on the planet because I need to pull this piece of plastic off. It is literally, so I'm going to get a shot of this. It's literally secured by her rear end. So my fear is that I will rip her legs off. Oh my God. Okay. So this is literally horrifying. Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. Good job, John. Yeah. All right. So first little thing to say. I'm gonna just amazingly predict that every child in America is going to snap Tink's legs off because yeah, that was just unbelievably horrifying. I felt I was going to break Tink every 5 minutes while I was taking her out of the box. So yeah, but again, I mean, just look at this thing. Oh my God, it is so good. I mean, just look at this from an artist standpoint. Look at the 3/4. Ah, I know. I'm like, my uncle would be proud of this video. Look at the 3/4. This is so good. And again, it's classic Tink, classic. Let me get me back in there. Classic Tink, classic Tinkerbell. Now, of course, for most of the world, they know her from Fairy Hollow. And her series with her other fairy sisters. I, being a little bit older, know her from Peter Pan, which I know most people do too. I'm just kidding. But I know her from that film where she was in, and that story. But the detail is just exquisite. I mean, look at the shoes, and I mean the leaf is just amazing. They have the texturing on the leaf. If you guys can see that, oh, you probably can't. Let me just get some more light. All right. Some texture on the leaf, just the balls on the foot. I mean, literally, and I'm sorry that my camera's not doing this justice, but like, I don't know if you could see it. She has like curled fingers. And this is what I mean. They're like, all of these figures are intentional. They're all intentional and they're all in action. Like there's a story being told, there's action to them. And it's just exquisite. The art style is so high and the paint on this is phenomenal. I mean, the paint job alone is phenomenal. I love it. Love them. So, I mean, that's like, besides Mickey, our first time around, that is like our first, bam, like classic Disney, holding no punches, classic Disney guy, which is awesome. And now, I must give him breath and circumstance. Oh, would have helped. All right, so we're going to pretend I didn't do that. So here's Donald. Oh my God. So looking forward to this. Looks amazing. Looks amazing. And there is our in-game shot. Now, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say this because I'm a very critical artist and I'm a huge Donald Duck fan. This does not do him any justice. The virtual in-game, ooh, why'd they go so dark? That virtual in-game figure is not like that. They did a nice job, but the figure itself, they did an amazing job getting the look of Donald. I mean, that is Donald. Again, highly stylized Donald, highly stylized, but it looks so much like him. And again, same deal, we have our characters on there and everything else. So let's get him out of the box. Oh, did I like totally... Oh, I did do that. Wow. And just because I didn't do it last time around, Tink's card. Forgot to show that off. Sorry. I promise I will be a better host. All right, so let me get that ready. All right, so here's Donald in his plastic. Even better. I mean, oh, it's just so good. Oh, so good. All right. Get out of there. Oh, this is unreal. Oh, so good. Oh my God, look at that. Look at Donald. Oh, so good. Oh, it's so Donald. It's so stylized, but it's so Donald. And then look at the little, I mean, I love that the bases are knocking me out this time. There's so much detail in them. It's so nice. Let's get a shot. And I've been wanting to do this. Whoa. All right. So I will do a different video with these two guys together. Or I'll do a picture of them, because what's cool about them, and I know they did this on purpose, so you'll notice that Donald is looking that way. Well, Mickey is actually looking the other way. You're supposed to be able to put them next to each other because obviously Donald is jealous of Mickey all the time. It's perfect. They did this perfect. Perfect, perfect. It brings me right back to Mickey Mouse Club. It is amazing. And then, of course, Donald's card. I came with it as well. All right. So, again, the classic. I mean, you can't get more classic than this. Donald and Tink. And then, of course, our biggest villain on the planet, cunning, cruel, Maleficent. And I think this is going to be an usher in of an amazing amount of villains. I will love and hope that they do every classic Disney villain. If they do every classic Disney villain, I will be ecstatic and amazed. And if Disney does not come out with some sort of base for me to put them on, I'm going to laugh my butt off. Because I would love that. A villain base where all the Disney classic villains can go. That would be amazing. All right, so Maleficent, give your time. Awesome, guys. Well, this was another great unboxing video. Please leave on the comments, who's your favorite figure? Who were you looking most likely to be out of the three, or even the ones that are still out there? I'm going to try to get my hands on them. We'll do some more unboxing videos. I am waiting on Aladdin and Jasmine because in the pipeline, in the grapevine, there is some talk of them having a playset. So you heard it here, and I'll confirm that more with things. But it has been pretty much confirmed that they will have not a playset, which was originally thought, but they will come in a toy box pack where you'll get Aladdin and Jasmine. And I believe you're going to get the power disc to do the theme of Agrabah, because this time around you do get a lot more Agrabah pieces, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to hold off on those, but probably next up I will be grabbing Betamax and Hero because they look awesome. And the film looks cute. I might, pretty much looking forward to it. A little bit different than what I know of the original character of the franchise, but I think they did a good job. I want to play as a giant robot that can fly. That's awesome. Giant mecha robot. Totally on there. Totally on board for it. Awesome, guys. It was a pleasure. Again, you can follow us on Modern Geek on Facebook, also on YouTube and Twitch as Vamp Mario. We'll have some more unboxings. I'm going to do some power disc opening, and I'll do a couple of those as I get some. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and please, please continue. Give us those comments. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of. But I want to hear your experiences. What was Disney Originals launch like for you? What guys did you get? Where did you go? Did you have an adventure where you got some of the things that you were looking for, or you were missing out, or you couldn't find that elusive thing? We'd love to hear about it. All right, take care, guys.